Hello and welcome to another segment of How Money Works. I'm very excited about today. Today's segment is going to be very awesome. So make sure you take your notes out and make sure you guys are writing some notes so you guys can go back to them and really study them after we're done with this session. There will be a couple homework assignments. Um, and just information, I believe that majority of the people on here um, know little to very few of this subject, and we're going to talk about it today so you can really understand. I'm going to keep it very simple. Just draw some diagrams. The subject that we're going to be speaking on is the principle of building equity. Okay, um, and like I said, very few people really understand this, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, let's draw next on your paper. Okay, and put 25, the number 25, and the number 65. Okay, on this line right here, go ahead and put responsibility. Okay, responsibility, and on this line right here, put wealth. Wealth. Okay, so let's go ahead and dissect this a little bit. And why 25? That's your age, 25 years old, and 65 years old. Okay, and usually what happens when we're 25 years old, right? We're barely getting out of college, okay, and probably landed our first real job, our career, right out of college. Uh, Usually, probably either getting married or already married and starting to have a family. Okay, so uh, let's draw this real quick. Okay, starting to have a family. Then what happens, right? We have a family, and about 30 years old, start investing and trying to either buy a home or rent somewhere. Okay, so get a home because we have more people in our family now. We can't no longer live in that 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom house. Now we got to get a 2 to 3 bedroom home. Then we got to get a car, right? A minivan or an SUV. You no longer. Sorry, gentlemen, no longer could ride our sports cars, right? We got to upgrade a little bit, right? Or downgrade for some. uh, so a lot of responsibilities. Responsibilities are high at age 25. Okay, little money. Okay, we don't have that much money when we first start off. Okay, because we have a lot of responsibilities. We got to pay our car note. We got to pay our home note. We got to provide for not only yourself but your family now. Okay, a lot of responsibilities, a little bit of money. Okay, as we get older, okay, what happens? Okay, what happens? Well, as we get older, our kids get older, they get bigger, go to college, hopefully, for some. Um, and our responsibilities start to go down. Our responsibilities start to go down. So by the time we're 25, or 65, I should say, our responsibilities, right, now we're older, right? The kids no longer there, right? They're probably off to college or either starting their own family. Okay, uh, our car, right? The car that we had should have been paid off. No more car, right? The home, right? 30 years later, our home should be paid off. So we should have a little bit of responsibilities, correct? Right? Our money, as we get older, as these responsibilities start to go down, right? Now, the money that paid for those responsibilities now should be put somewhere for when you're 65. You have not little bit of money, but big money, right? So when we turn 65 and we retire, we can have a pretty large nest egg. So that money can then, when we no longer want to work or no longer can work due to illnesses or due to our back going out because we worked all our life, right? construction or anything. You know, it's 65 years on your body. You know, our knees are shot, you know, through injuries or whatnot, right? Illnesses, right? So we want to have a lot of money by the time we're 65, okay? And all our responsibilities should be paid off, okay? So that's why, you know, responsibilities versus wealth. But what is happening? What is happening? How come there's going to be so many people retiring and they're not going to be retiring at 65 because number one, they didn't plan their life, and number two, they don't have enough money that they've been socking away throughout their lifetime. Okay, so there's a problem there. There's going to be 96 million baby boomers that are going to retire in the next 15 to 20 years, and majority of them, like my mom and like many of my relatives, are not financially okay to live when their back is, you know, they got to continue working, and it's actually happening. If you guys go to Walmart, if you've ever been to Walmart, I shop at Walmart, so who greets us there? Not only at Walmart, but many places, right? McDonald's, Starbucks, you know, Home Depot, right? Who greets us? It's the elderly, right? The elderly people that, you know, that are grandparents should, you know, should be at home with their families and their great grandkids and really paying attention and spending time with them. But no, they got to work because they didn't really plan their life. So what's happening is, as we go, as we get older, we didn't really understand money, so we didn't really plan for our future, our kids' future, right? College. So you want, you know, little Johnny, right, and Maria to go to college, but you never planned for them. So what happens? We refinance our home, right? We refinance our home. So we take money out of our home and we help them go to college. So what happens here? Our home then gets extended, right? It's no longer a 30-year mortgage payment. You actually extended it now because you took money out of your home, okay? Because you never planned for their college anyway. So our homes are not being paid off in 30 years, okay? Because of refinance, and we take money out and we go on vacation and we do a lot of other things. We upgrade our car, right? But our note is now being extended past 65. Another thing, we always trade in our car after 5 years and or 3 years, or some people 2 years, right? They trade their car, get a new one. Always upgrading their cars, so they never really pay off their cars. They're just exchanging cars, okay? Where all that money really should be getting put for your later years, and if you apply the rule of 72 and how much money we're actually spending on really dumb things, right? Wasteful things. We go out and spend $200 on one night of having fun and or just being out with your family and friends, right? I'm not saying it's bad to do those things, but we got to really understand how to use these principles and these wealth secrets, okay, that the wealthy understand, but, you know, this information just really doesn't get to a lot of people, okay? So we should have big money here. So what's happening is it's actually going like this. The curve is actually going like this. It's not going down. Our responsibilities are not going down. We still have mortgage payments. Our money is actually going like this too, right? Our responsibilities are staying the same, and things are getting more expensive through inflation and through taxes and our debts, right? And soon hyperinflation, right? That'll be another segment that I'll speak on, hyperinflation. But and our money is you know, instead of $1 million, right, 1 million at retirement, many people have less than 100,000, right? $90,000 for retirement. Now, how are you gonna live a lifestyle of only having $90,000 that you accumulate over your whole entire life, right? how much can you, how long will it take to spend that? 5 years, 6 years, 2 years, for some months, right? Depending on your lifestyle. But then we're going to see a lot more seniors being forced out of retirement and going to, because the government's not going to take care of us, right? Our boss is not going to take care of us. There's no more pension plans, very few. Okay, the government's really saying that we're going broke and not to rely on us anymore. Um, so who can we rely on? We have to rely on ourselves. Okay, another thing is a principle of building equity is if what happens if we if we die too soon. What happens if we die too soon? What happens to those responsibilities that we have at a young age? Who does it get passed down to? Okay, say you're the breadwinner, right? And you're really uh, you're the only one working, and your wife, and you have two kids, or vice versa, right? Nowadays, um, and you're no longer here. Something happens, car accident happens, right? Just like in my life, 3 years ago, what happens? You know, the people that were depending on you, your income is no longer there. So how are they gonna still live the same lifestyle that you were living or you were used to? All the responsibilities, the home, the car, the kids are gonna all fall onto your husband or wife, right? So it's important to this is where you can utilize a life insurance, okay? Because if you die too soon, right? People die every day, right? We don't get up, we don't live our lifestyle thinking, oh, if I die, I'm gonna die today. No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't get me confused. But what happens if you do, right? Just in case, right? And that's where you can really utilize this one. But if you don't pass away, right? Because we don't live our life like that. Hopefully you don't, because that would just be a really bad life every day just thinking of that. But what if we live to 65 and longer, right? What if we live too long, right? What if we live too long, and that's where a life insurance also comes into play, because now you're able to take equity out of, you know, there's different types of life insurances, and that's what, you know, we already talked about that, um, but that's where you can get money out of your life